Hi, this is George LeMieux, Chairman of the Board of the Gunster Law Firm. I'm here with my friend, Mayor Francis Suarez, the Mayor of the City of Miami. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you, Senator. It's a privilege and an honor to be with you, my longtime good friend and advisor.
Well, you're kind. You've done so many great things, and we're also proud of what you've done for Miami and privileged that you'd be here on Gunster's View from the Top. Let me start right off by asking you the success of Miami. I mean, Miami is always, at least for the past few decades, has been a city on the rise, a city that people have been watching around the world. But since you've been mayor and here in the last couple of years, Miami is taking off not just as a city to vacation to, but also as a city to do business. So can you talk a little bit about your efforts to make Miami an economic powerhouse?
Well, like you said, Senator, pre-pandemic, Miami was growing tremendously. We had about 8.5% growth my first year, 10.5% growth my second year, and my third year in the midst of a pandemic, we grew about 6.5%. But what happened in December of last year was we had a lightning in a bottle moment when I tweeted out, "How can I help?" to a tweet by Delian from Founders Fund that said, "Hey guys, what if we move Silicon Valley to Miami?" And it created a scenario under which people felt liberated and felt welcome, as opposed to feeling unwelcome and feeling pushed out of their cities. The creators, the innovators, those with capital, those who build great companies are flocking to Miami, both from New York and from Silicon Valley in particular. And so for us, it's a once in a lifetime, once in a generation tectonic shift. And we want to do everything that we can to not just be a great city, we want to be the best city on the planet. That's our goal. We want to be what I call the capital of capital. We want to be a city where if you want to build a company, if you want to realize your dreams, if you want to live the American dream, it's the best place in the world to go and get started. And that's what we're pushing to create.
Well, you've had so much success and there's been so much notoriety of financial leaders moving down. We now have Blackstone that's coming to Miami to have a significant presence in Florida when they've really been a Chicago, New York based company. So that's a big development. But I also know that you've been working on helping entrepreneurs and working with the private sector to establish funding for entrepreneurs. Can you talk about that a little?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we've had a lot of watershed moments. Like you said, Blackstone Tech was a big one. But then we had Marcelo Claude from SoftBank come in one of my Cafecito Tech Talks and announced the Miami Initiative. It was a $100 million initiative from SoftBank for companies that were created in Miami or moving to Miami. We've had a variety of different initiatives like that. We just had one today with the company Clear from the airports and for stadiums, announcing a special offer for companies moving to Miami. 8 Sleep, which was a company actually funded by SoftBank later, that created a promotion. So we have tried to create not only the most business-friendly climate in Miami, but we want to make sure that as companies come here, they're going to be able to take advantage of a buffet of offerings. They're going to make it easier for them to establish themselves here and much higher probability of success. And so what COVID did for us, it did 2 things. One is we stayed open, relatively speaking, to these other cities. And number 2, with remote work and the remote work technology, people could untether themselves to the place where they were without losing their job. So they could sort of do, let's check this place out. Let's kick the tires. And when they got here, they realized that the density of capital and entrepreneurs and major VCs was far greater than they would have ever imagined. And so the collisions that are happening here in Miami are much, much stronger than would be happening in other cities in America. And that's what's creating this rapid growth.
Can you also talk about, I thought it was a really creative move. You now have a venture capitalist in residence at the city of Miami. I don't know that any other city has that. Tell us a little bit about that position.
Not only that, but we have a woman, a venture capitalist in residence, our first VC in residence, probably, well, definitely in the history of Miami, potentially the only one in the United States, as you said. What I did was when I put out the "How Can I Help" tweet, that tweet got 2.7 million impressions. And it inspired me to tweet 800 more times in December, which got 27 million impressions. So this is all organic, no paid. And I realized very, very quickly that I couldn't do this all by myself. And so I was very blessed to get the support of a lot of our institutions like FIU that lent me Saifa Shuf, who's the head of our Venture Miami team, Melissa Krinsman, who's our VC in residence, as you said, Kevin Reese from the DDA, thanks to Christina Crespi and the DDA board members, including the chairman, who's one of my commissioners. We got Keith Carswell, who's our economic development advisor. We had Mike Sarasti, who's our chief innovation officer. We put together this crack team to create concierge services for people moving to Miami and to make sure that we are addressing any of their needs. People are always going to try to counter brand Miami. They're always going to say, oh, Miami's going to be underwater. Oh, Miami doesn't have the talent. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And for us, we want to hit those counter brands head on. We want to make sure that people understand that those are false narratives, and that to the extent that any of them are true, that we're working vigorously to make sure that Miami is here forever and is here for everyone.
Well, that's so exciting. So I want to just wrap up with you, Mayor, and ask you, looking forward now, the next remainder part of 2021 going into 2022, what do you see next for the city of Miami and the South Florida region?
We're going to keep building on this success. I think there's going to be some major announcements, some of which are like not so well kept secrets from SoftBank and Microsoft that are going to be coming down the pipeline. There'll be some that are surprises. We're working on some major hedge funds. I was having dinner the other day with a $275 billion Canadian hedge fund that is looking to potentially relocate to Miami. I mean, we just had Thoma Bravo, which was an $80 billion hedge fund, relocate to Miami. Orlando Bravo, who's a phenomenal leader of that company. So we have a D1 Capital, $30 billion under assets under management. I mean, it's incredible all the things that are happening in our city. We want to keep that momentum. We want it to translate into some philanthropy as well. We think we have a great opportunity to create a new philanthropic crowd of people that will also inspire the lifelong Miamians to get more involved in philanthropy, because it's philanthropy with the public sector that could really tackle some major social problems like homelessness and like the digital disconnect, like with the Miami Connect program that we started with Ken Griffin, who gave a $5 million donation to have every child on free and reduced lunch, all 100,000 children in Miami-Dade County to have free broadband connection for 2 years. So those are the kinds of initiatives that we want to engage in to make sure that as Miami grows, we don't leave anybody behind, and we're upskilling to create the kind of talent that is needed for these companies who are coming here.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor. The author of the tweet heard around the world. Thank you for all you're doing, and so excited. It's so great to be in a state with a city like Miami. It's probably the most exciting place to be in the whole world right now, and a lot of that has to do with your leadership. So thank you.
Thank you, and I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you, Senator.
Okay, take care, my friend.
Good.